let you go. There's no way. I'm already still burning. So hold to me close. Now baby, I do what I'm told. Still learning to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing, to walk that line, yeah. You got me shifting the paradigm. No longer wishing, you're my lucky strike. Love the way you ride. Look into my eyes, say you're ready to go. $1,000,000 life, yeah. We could roll the dice. Act like you're surprised, but you already know. Oh yeah, got lucky overnight. Jackpot when I got the invite. Let me wrap my arms around you, cause I can't go home without you. And my heart just vibe with you, babe. Wanna go sky high with you, babe. Gotta bring you close to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. Cooler than cold, I'm all in. So load up the dice, so heavy. The way that you roll, I'm falling. So I never fall. I'm ready to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing, to walk that line, yeah. You got me shifting the paradigm. No longer wishing, you're my lucky strike. Love the way you ride. Look into my eyes, say you're ready to go. $1,000,000 life, yeah. We could roll the dice, yeah. Act like you surprised, but you already know. You're my lucky strike, and I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. I can't let you go. There's no way. I'm already still burning. So hold to me close. Now baby, I do what I'm told. Still learning to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing, to walk that line, yeah. You got me shifting the paradigm. No longer wishing, you're my lucky strike. Love the way you ride. Look into my eyes, say you're ready to go. $1,000,000 life, yeah. We could roll the dice. Act like you're surprised, but you already know. Oh yeah, got lucky overnight. Jackpot when I got the invite. Let me wrap my arms around you, cause I can't go home without you. And my heart just vibe with you, babe. Wanna go sky high with you, babe. Gotta bring you close to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. Cooler than cold, I'm all in. So load up the dice, so heavy. The way that you roll, I'm falling. So I never fall. I'm ready to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing, to walk that line, yeah. You got me shifting the paradigm. No longer wishing, you're my lucky strike. Love the way you ride. Look into my eyes, say you're ready to go. $1,000,000 life, yeah. We could roll the dice, yeah. Act like you surprised, but you already know. You're my lucky strike.
All right, folks. Well, you know you're in for a treat when you hear that tune because it's time for like episode 611 or something ridiculous like that of the Rec Poker podcast. This is the chats edition. We also have a forums edition every week, just talking strategy. I'm your host, Jim Reed, Bluffsterini in the home game and at Rec Poker Jim on the hellscape we call Twitter. And I have the best freaking job in the world, talking poker with my friends here on the Rec Poker podcast every Monday night at 7:30 Eastern, live on YouTube. You can join us every week for free and win a prize just for showing up. Now we're going to talk to Rob Gardner, our guest. We have some really exciting stuff to talk about with Rob Gardner coming up in just a moment. But first, I have to mention that we're brought to you by Running Aces, the official sponsor of the Rec Poker podcast. Most of what we do here is free. We're a largely volunteer-based organization, so we depend on support from our sponsors and also from our premium members who take part in our training material and study opportunities for only $22 a month. So thank you so much for your support if you're a premium member. We've picked up a few over the last little while. And I just want to say it makes a big difference to what we do here. But if $22 is too much, let me tell you, you can get your first month of premium membership for only $5. And if even $5 feels like a lot, I just want to remind our listeners that you can always get a free month of premium membership just by supporting a local food bank in your own community for any amount. So if you email me with a proof of donation for $1 or more at a local food bank, we'll make sure to credit you for a free month of Rec Poker premium membership. And you can always get a free account at Rec Poker to take advantage of all our fantastic free resources for recreational poker players. And there are a ton of them. So come join up for a free account. All it takes is an email address and a smile, although we do insist on both. Now, you get used to hearing my voice a lot because they let me host the show on Mondays, but I'm just one man. It takes a group, a gang, a crew to make the magic happen here at Rec Poker. We call this group of wizards the Wrecking Crew. If you want to find out more about me or the rest of the Wrecking Crew, you can just go to rec.poker/crew, or you can listen up right now because you're about to meet a few of them right here on the air, starting with our producing co-host, Chris Jones.
Woo! Woo! There's something in the water tonight, and I am Chris Jones. You can find me 5v5 on Twitter, 5x5 in the Poker Stars home game, and I help run our monthly deep dive strategy segment each month.
My name is Joe Coolis. You can find me at Joe Cool PhD, cool with a K, on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and as Elvita11 within the home game. My role here is I run the PsyOps workshop on the third Thursday of every month, although we will likely have to move that to the fourth Thursday to the 22nd this particular month because of the way that my vacation schedule came up. And we go over psychological concepts that impact your poker game. And so come hang out.
And I am John Somsky, also known as Poker Geek M everywhere. And I host a home game now every single night of the week.
Yeah,
notwithstanding Poker Stars reliability issues. But as long as Poker Stars is up, there's a home game.
That's right. And 2 on Wednesdays and 3 on Saturdays. So there's a lot of home games. Free to play, but the prizes are real. Come check out those details now. Kim Kilroy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm Kim Kilroy. I'm PetVet33 on the social platforms. I'm Fergie56 in our home game. And I host a hand history review group on the second Wednesday of the month when I'm not traveling the world playing poker.
And I'm Rob Washam. You can find me as Rabman50 just about everywhere. And on the first and third Wednesdays of every month, you can join me as we talk about the best poker books out there.
That's right. That's Rob's been leading our book study here at Rec Poker for several years now. One of the just a little taster's choice of all the amazing Wrecking Crew material that's available to you as a premium member here at Rec Poker. So come check us out today. And like I said, check us out for free too. We have a lot of fantastic free resources. One resource that I'm excited to be adding to the team is recently joined Wrecking Crew member Rob Gardner. Regular listeners will know Rob from being on the show in the past, and regular poker fans will know Rob because he's been involved in a lot of exciting ventures in the poker world over the last few years. Rob Gardner, let's talk about a bunch of them. Welcome back to the Rec Poker podcast. Oh, and you're muted right now. So you are officially welcome to the team. Officially, you've made it. That's what we call that, pulling a Somsky.
My dog's my dogs were upstairs barking, and I was terrified it was coming through. So I muted for a second. I gotta ask Jim, honest question.
Yes, yes.
How many times did you look in the mirror and practice that intro? Because it rolled off your tongue like a butter tart. It was smooth, and I'm just
Speaking of
curious.
smooth.
I could see you, like in the mirror, just compassion and fire. Very well done. It's like you've
Thank
done it
you.
611 times.
It feels like I've done it a few times, and it's easy to speak what you believe. There's just a lot of cool stuff happening here at RecPoker, so it does roll off the tongue. And speaking of smooth, nice butter tart reference. Way to just throw that
Had to
in
throw
there.
it in.
That's amazing. So Rob, you've worn a lot of different hats in the poker world. Content creator, influencer, poker player, coach, a group organizer. I mean, you've worn a lot of hats. I like to start these interviews by sort of inviting our guests to put themselves in a box, so I don't awkwardly do it myself. If someone hadn't met you before or didn't know what your kind of role was in the poker world, how would you briefly sort of describe what you do in the poker world today?
I'm a mutt.
Yeah.
Next question. No. So I really, it's interesting. I'm in a little bit of a kind of transition in my career, because earlier in my poker career, I had a lot of ambition, and coming from a competitive background, it was all about winning bracelets and winning rings and trying to make it to the top of the industry. And now that I've gotten older and maybe a little less foolish, some of the eccentric goals in poker have kind of broken off. And now it's kind of about trying to leave a positive mark on the community, trying to collaborate and work with some of the awesome people in poker. I tell people all the time that when I first came to poker, I had a lot of friends outside of poker. And within a year and a half of being in poker, kind of dumped all the rest of my friends, because I found that a lot of the people I met in poker were more real, more authentic, more fun to be around. And I've made lifelong friends through this venture. And so now I'm kind of feel like I'm in the third quarter, if you will, to use a sports reference. And I'm just looking for opportunities to work with those great people. I think if you enjoy the people you're working with, you enjoy what you do. And yeah, I've done a lot of different things. Content is probably up towards the top as far as my passion. I think it's a great way. We kind of live in an awesome era now. 20 years ago, if you wanted to get a message out, it was a physical newsletter or a TV spot that cost lots of money. And now here we are in 2024. You can record a 60-second video, throw it on 6 social media networks, and talk to people all over the world. Like, what a cool thing. So I really, really enjoy that. But I am kind of a mutt. I've done a lot of different things. And I'm one of those guys like you, Jim, that kind of just plugs in and whatever capacity is needed in the moment.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's very well put. And I'll reach out to our YouTube audience. If you have any questions for Rob Gardner, of course, feel free to type them into the YouTube chat here. I know I've got a ton. I know a lot of the Wrecking Crew members have a bunch of questions as well. We're going to be talking to Rob about some of his exploits over the last year or so. And then we're also going to be getting into some exciting new features and some upgrades and some new exciting stuff happening at RecPoker as well. So you want to stick around to the end of the show. We'll, of course, be giving away a prize at the end of the interview to help support our fight against food insecurity and to support a local food bank. So if you're in the YouTube chat, get your questions in for Rob. We also need some names of famous poker players so that Chris Jones can play Stake, Study, Stack and make Rob feel really awkward with some of his friends. And then, of course, we're also at the point where you can make donations through the YouTube chat. If you make a super chat donation as part of our food bank raffle, we will share a portion of all YouTube donations with a local food bank as well. It's just a nice way to say thanks and to help support a great cause like that. All right. So Rob, I mean, the really big news that we've been kind of excited about for a while is you started this fantastic group, 100K Studios, and you've been curating this amazing membership and this fantastic relationship between your pros and coaches and the members. And you and I have known each other for a while, and we've always had a lot of respect for what each other is doing. And we both have this shared mandate, along with everyone here on the Wrecking Crew, of just like making the poker world a better place, a more fun place, and having resources for recreational poker players. And so you and I got our heads together and said, you know what? Why are we doing this twice when we could be doing it once, twice as well? And it's official. I think can we say it? I mean, I guess we can now. I'm saying it here on the air.
I hope so, man. After all of the pain and suffering you put you through, it's funny. Jim talks about our mutual respect, and I don't know how many people know this, but I'll go back into it. Like, early on when we first talked, and we had the privilege of meeting each other through the main event. We ended up at the same table, had a wonderful experience with each other, and just really hit it off right out of the gate. And when we kind of started 100K, we just felt like the industry was so slanted towards the top 1%. All of the training materials was towards high stakes and mid stakes players. All of the content was based on high stakes, mid stakes players. All of the just the whole thing, all the coverage, the news coverage. And we had talked about how we could have 10 rec pokers, 10 100Ks, and it still might not be enough to kind of balance this industry out. And, I remember very early on, we were collaborating, like we had lots of meetings where we would just share notes, compare ideas, talk back and forth. And I made a promise very early that I would never, ever, ever, ever ask Jim to do any type of joint venture. Because I didn't want to put him through it, right? Like, he already had this beautiful ship and it was all carved out and things are going smooth and there's no bumps in the road, at least that I knew of, right? And so I was like, I'm just never going to put him in that situation ever. And then, we kept talking, we kept collaborating, and it was kind of like, we realized that, I over at 100K, we were doing some good things, but we had like 8 or 9 weaknesses. And Jim was really good in all the areas we were weak. And Jim had like one weakness. And I happened to be good in the one area that he just, and it wasn't even a weakness. It's just like there just weren't the resources to do what Jim wanted to do. And I lost a little bit of sleep because I was like, man, this, we should talk about this. And then, so I think I sent Jim a message and I told him to get some really good sleep and set up a call with him. And that was, I don't know, 47 meetings ago or something insane. And,
yeah.
But all for good purpose. This industry is a wonderful place with a lot of wonderful people. But as there's plenty of people in poker too who have their own selfish desires and motivations at play, and they're out to run the scoreboard up as high as they can. And it creates a bad experience for people. And we've talked before about the health of this industry, the health of this game thrives on people rising up and creating a great welcoming experience for people that want to come into poker. And that's something that this organization's been doing for almost 7 years now, and been doing it with a very reputable and honorable approach. And now we get the opportunity to join forces and try to take this to the next level. And what excites me about it is it feels like an untapped resource. It feels like something that, sure, if you watched any of the coverage of Jim at the main event, he's a very well-known, very liked guy, very popular within the poker industry. But we forget that is like 0.01% of the people that play poker and love poker. There are so many people out there, so many poker enthusiasts, poker fans, casual poker players who have no idea who Jim Reed is, or Rob Gardner, or RecPoker, or any other organization for that matter. And to have the opportunity to connect them and show them this awesome community, show them the fun of learning, peer study, collaborative learning, playing in home games together, having a place where your victories count, no matter how big or how small they are, and to connect them, most importantly, to all of the wonderful people we've already met on our poker journeys. That just sounds like fun. Doesn't really sound like work to me. So to do that, and obviously, Jim, to partner with you and the wonderful team you have, I could not be more excited for this opportunity and what big things could be ahead.
Yeah, I think so too. And we're all really excited as well. So Rob's been getting more and more involved in what we do here at Rec Poker, really plugging in to helping us kind of communicate better, sort of share what we do with the world better, and even sort of like organize some of our own stuff. Like we've made some huge upgrades to Discord since Rob's come aboard. And having a lot of these 100K members in our membership as well has been fantastic. You've got some really, really involved, engaged, active, awesome, like fun, enthusiastic poker players that you've managed to collect, and I could already see them having an impact in our membership here. So I mean, suffice it to say, it's a great year for you and me, for 100K, for Rec Poker. And it's a great time to join Rec Poker right now because it's really kind of taking off. We're doing more study opportunities, more study groups, more live events, more online events, back to more home games. Like it's just everything. More. People, the recreational world is saying we want more of this kind of fun study community, and that's what we do here. So yeah, that's a lot of words, but we're pretty stoked. And so yeah, welcome, Rob. I think you've found a home here, no doubt about it.
I'm super pumped.
Yeah. Well, so we're going to talk a little bit about some of the cool stuff that's coming up, but I also wanted to talk about what you've been up to. You were in Vegas for a while. You had a profitable summer. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about balancing your life as a player and all these other exciting things that you have going on. We've got some questions already here in the YouTube chat. We got a bunch of fun folks in the YouTube chat already, I can see. One from Ginger here, who says, which do you enjoy more, playing online or playing live, or online or playing live?
Oh man. Such a timely question. So I think the really short answer is live. That being said, again, I'm in so many transitions right now. This transition with 100K in Rec Poker, transitions in my poker career. Live poker is a really high rake proposition, and I don't mean like the rake arguments and fights you see on Twitter where like Foxwoods is now, I don't know, 29-30%. I'm not talking about the actual rake of the tournament. I'm talking about all of the things that go around that, right? Like if you go to a tournament series, the rake isn't just what they take out of the prize pool. It's your gas, it's your food, it's your lodging, it's the time away from your job or other income sources. And so as fun as it is, it's very expensive. It's a very high opportunity cost. And so I've been trying to shift my focus more, at least for this next few months, into the online realm and trying to be more excited about that because all these exciting opportunities are coming. The circuit's expanding, Run Good's expanding, Moneymaker Tour's expanding. And it's so easy to get caught up in all that. But it's like, if I really want to do what's best interest for my bankroll, my career, I just got to keep my head down. So the answer is live from a fun standpoint, but from a best interest standpoint, it's probably online right now.
And you're one of those few people that actually make a little money, not just from playing poker, but as an ACR streamer and other cool ways like that. Someone asked me a while ago, I didn't have a good answer for them, but like, how does that work? How do you get into a kind of like an ambassador like program like that? Do you apply? Does someone recommend you? How long have you been doing that, and sort of what's that business relationship like?
Yeah, I've been doing it off and on for the better part of 7 years, and it's evolving a lot. When I first got involved, the barrier of entry was a lot lower. It was less competitive. I'd actually been streaming for less than 3 months and got a rare opportunity to get my foot in the door. Usually you had to be streaming for a year to get in. And it was just kind of one of those, the stars align moments. They took a chance on me, brought me in. I got a ticket to the first $1 million guarantee they ran on ACR on a Sunday, and I finished 17th in it. And had the most insane stream. Here's a guy with no streaming experience, 3 months into my streaming career, and we're like final 60 with like 6 figures up top. And all of a sudden, the alert comes up in OBS and says, "You have a raid from PokerStars for 2,700 people." And as if I didn't have enough pressure at that point, like I'm already sweating this deep run for possibly the biggest score of my career. And now there's just infinite people watching. I think one of the EPT events ended or something, and they sent me the raid. Yeah, I mean, nowadays it's shifting. And the reason it's shifting is, again, because, and you'll hear me talk about this a lot in the coming weeks and months with what we're doing with RecPoker and where my passion is, the content world is evolving and the poker world is very, very slowly catching up. They're starting to learn that, the way that you captivate an audience, the way you build a brand, the way you build a following isn't really through the traditional realm of like, I'm going to throw up a stream and throw up my tables and talk about my play and all these people are going to come in. Nowadays, it's all about short form content. And so sites are starting to look more and more not for people who stream, but people who stream and generate other forms of content as a funnel into that stream. And so it's good news, bad news in the sense that it's good news in that if you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to learn the game and play the game correctly, there's a lot of opportunity in this industry, not just with stream teams, but all kinds of partnerships within the industry. But it's work, and you gotta learn how to play the game. You can't just look at the game and say, I want to play this way. You got to play by the rules if you really want to find success.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We got another great comment in here from Benny the Jet. Says he'd like to hear Rob's advice on transitioning from casual recreational to a more serious player. Is it more study, better bankroll management, structuring your days better, all of the above, something completely different? Talk a little bit about that transition.
Yeah, so I am a massive, massive fan of bankroll being the number one edge in all of poker, to the point where my friends are sick of me talking about it. Whatever your goals are, other than fun, and fun is an amazing goal in poker. You never have to have a goal beyond, I want to have fun. That can literally be the only goal. But if you have goals beyond fun, whatever those goals are, bankroll is how you get there. You want to win a bracelet? It's not as much about studying GTO for 20 years and maximizing your game. Sure, studying helps. It's about having as many bracelet opportunities as possible. You want to win a ring? Same thing. You want to get your Hendon mob to 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures. It's all about opportunities and getting as many opportunities as possible. And the number one limiting factor for the vast majority of people when it comes to opportunities is bankroll, right? And so people tend to play the game backwards. They try to play poker to get bankroll, and they try to maneuver their game and get their game in a position so they can make enough playing poker to have a bankroll. Or what they should be doing is working the other way and going, what is the fastest way to get the bankroll I need to accomplish the goals? And for some people, they are blessed enough and fortunate enough to be able to do that through poker. But for some people, the answer is go get a second job for a while and build the income and revenue that way and save up the money you need to have that bankroll and then tackle the game. And again, it's one of those things. It's like there are ways to get there, and not a lot of people are willing to take on those ways. But you gotta kind of play the game. And so I just can't stress enough that having seen so many of my friends who are either pro or semi-pro or playing the game seriously as a side income feel the tension and the stress and the pressure of being bankroll capped. There's just no other aspect of this game that's more important than that.
I think that's it's an answer people don't necessarily want to hear, but it's very, very true. We talk a lot about like game selection, bankroll management. These are the unsexy skills that make for a successful poker player, but it's true. Joe Coolis, you had something there, I think.
Yeah, I just wanted to mirror what you were saying because for those of you who wander the halls of Twitter, there have been some like Hungry Horse Studios or something like that. Brett Goon, I think is his name, posted today about, oh, well, you should just really throw care to the wind and you can build your bankroll playing live. And my experience about that is that it's just, why throw yourself into a blender? just to turn it on and then try to avoid the blades to try to make a career for yourself or to do something. It's not a good idea. It's going to ruin your game anyway. But I don't think enough places or programs tell you that are willing to say, look, you can't just come in with $50, put it into chips and then suddenly have millions of dollars at the end. It just doesn't work that well, at least not for the vast majority of people. So I think it's a great point.
We've got another one in here. This is from oh no, this is a good one from Ginger. Who's your favorite streamer to watch, or are there a few out there that you think are doing a great job right now?
So those are two very different questions.
Good point. Yeah.
And the answers might surprise you. So as far as good streamers, I've always said that I think in terms. So let's take a step back for a second. Poker is a terrible streaming product. We have seen the pain of watching some of these main events and side WSOP events on Poker Go, where there's millions of dollars at stake, and it's still hard to watch at times because you get these 8, 9, 10, 12-minute takes, and there's only so much commentary you can do about the spot. And then we get really bad dad jokes in between. And it's just, it's a very hard product to do live. And the poker industry is kind of learning that, but kind of just like sticking their heels in the ground and saying, we don't care. So if that is a challenging product, imagine how much harder it is to do online when we knock a couple zeros off, drop a comma, and we're not playing for that life-changing money or that bracelet, right? It's not a very compelling product. And so to like streamers that are enjoyable to watch, it's just there aren't very many because, where is the entertainment value? Where is the excitement? How much attention can you really pay to somebody streaming and playing poker while you're playing poker, right? And so in terms of people that I enjoy, I think Bet on Drew is at the top because he has this incredibly rare ability to be relatable and personable and passionately follow chat while he's playing for, a $30,000 first place prize at the final table. And a lot of players can't do that. I can't do that. When I'm playing for big money, I want to focus and play the best game possible. I don't want to talk about your dog or your kitty cat. And so I struggle. I don't have those levels. In terms of who's doing it well, honestly, again, and I don't want this to sound harsh, the poker industry is not good at content. I have conversations with people all the time, and we go back and forth, and I irritate people because everybody wants to do a poker stream and then take 8 clips from their poker stream and throw it all over social media. And it's like, how many times do I have to see a 30-second clip of somebody getting their aces cracked? Like, where is the entertainment value in that, right? It's not engaging. It's not enjoyable. Like, I don't hop onto TikTok or Instagram and be like, I want to see everybody's bad beats. And then once in a while when they held, and like, it's not entertaining. And so in my mind, the optimal way to stream is that like the stream is just the place where everybody ends up. It's the end destination. And influencers, content creators should be putting their personality out there. They should be out there presenting who they are, what's different about them, and attracting people who are like them, right? So if you're a semi-retired person who now plays poker regularly, there's a lot of people out there who may be 2, 3, 4, 5 years from semi-retiring who dream of being in your shoes. And you talking and telling your story and your experiences and the highs and lows of your journey through semi-retirement poker is a million times more exciting than showing me how your aces went runner against king 6 and you lost, right? But no, content creators in our industry really haven't figured that out and gone in that direction. They don't like the story-based content. They don't like the time it takes to create that content because they really kind of just want to play poker and not have to do all of the side stuff. And that is how you build an influence. We talk about influencers. That's how you build an influence because you kind of lead, right? You're setting an example for people And I think some of it too is we don't always realize how fortunate we are. It's so easy in poker to look at the step up and see somebody who has a slightly bigger bankroll or a slightly bigger opportunity, or they have more achievements. And we're like, I want to get there. I'm aspiring to get there. And we forget that there are people who would literally kill to have the opportunities we have. And so I don't feel like very many people in the industry have really kind of approached it in the modern day era. But hopefully, we'll start to see more of that, because I think part of the problem with growing the game is we kind of make the game look boring. And when we make the game look boring, it's hard to bring people into the game and into our industry.
Yeah, and you're someone who's always been gifted in that regard, bringing people in and making them feel comfortable and at home. And I think you really carried that through in your 100K crew there. We've been trying to do some stuff here at RecPoker, more like you've been doing it at 100K, starting with the Discord program. And like I mentioned at the top of the show, we've really been making some upgrades and changes and adding some features there. Can you talk a little bit about sort of what you think makes for effective communication and engagement within a community like that, and like what allowed your group to be so engaged and active and enjoying the process of studying poker together?
Well, I don't think we can broach that topic without giving a ton of credit to every single member that was a part of that project. And Jim, I'm sure you feel the same way with your community here at RecPoker. Sure, we have awesome leadership and we have awesome teachers, and we have people who have been the glue that have helped bring this group together. But our members did such a good job, regardless of whether they had a leadership role or not, of building friendships with one another and checking in on each other and supporting each other. And so I'll talk a little. I mean, I'll answer your question, but I want to preface it by saying, like, we could have done all the things in the world, and if we didn't have members who were dedicated to what we were doing, it wouldn't have mattered. I think that one of the number one things, if people were to be honest, I think if you did a poll, you wouldn't get this answer very often. But if people were truly, truly honest about one of the things they want in poker more than anything else, it's respect. And not respect in like some cocky, arrogant, like bow down to me and tell me I'm great type of respect, but an acknowledgement and an awareness that that person has worked on their game, that person has made skill jumps, right? Like they've made accomplishments. Even players that I think play for fun still want their accomplishments to be recognized. And in the overall industry, that's incredibly hard, right? Go all the way to the top. Who has more bracelets than anybody? Helmuth, right?
Right.
Who
right.
gets more crap than anybody? Helmuth. Granted, some of it's probably pretty warranted, but point being, can you ever win enough bracelets in our industry to have respect? Right? Can you ever get your hand in mob big enough to have respect? And so I just think in an industry that's, again, very condensed and focused on the top of the industry, the same 50 or 100 people, this is not an easy space to break into. It's not an easy space to be recognized. And everybody loves that recognition. And so I think one of the things that was really helpful with our community is we were very engaged in that. We had a screenshots channel where people could post their screenshots and we all celebrated each other's victories, even if it was, hey, I won an 11-cent on demand on ACR for $2.69. Like, we treated those wins just as much as the person that had the 10K score. We had a deep runs channel where players, like, if they were deep, because we had a closed community and so it was very easy to monitor and protect. If they were on a deep run, they would fire up a table in Discord and people would hop into Discord and be cheering them on. And you don't get that outside of communities like ours and RecPoker. Where can you go and get that kind of support and appreciation for your accomplishments? And I think it's something that's just human nature to want that. And it's something that's extremely rare in our industry. So creating that space in that community is one of the fun factors that I think keeps people engaged and going.
Yeah. And, we've always said here that our greatest strength here at RecPoker is the members of our community themselves. John Somsky's been beating this drum for years about how we have this self-selecting group of thoughtful, encouraging, patient, friendly, fun-loving poker players. And not all poker players are cut from that mold.
Right.
So it's right. So it's a real yeah, it is a wonderful group. It's a wonderful community. It's a great way to come. It's a great place to come and find people to talk poker with. Like Craig Savage just puts in the YouTube chat here. People want to belong. That's right. Like I meet with all our new premium members when they first sign up for a premium membership here at RecPoker, just to show them around the site and sort of feel them out, see if we can find some low-hanging fruit when it comes to leaks of theirs that we might be able to plug or direct them towards some new resources. And the one thing people tell me all the time is, I just don't have friends to talk poker with. I've got friends, I've got people that I play poker with at the local card room, but they're not my friends. And my friends don't care about poker. So like the one thing that's missing is this friendly group of people to talk about poker with, to improve together with. And you've done such a great job with that group, and I'm so proud to be working with you here and to have a lot of those members over here in our RecPoker membership. So let's talk a little bit about, one of the things that we're doing differently is we're using Discord better. So if you're listening to this and you're a RecPoker premium member, you have to go to your profile in the RecPoker website and add your Discord username to your profile there. We've set that up so it's easy to do. And then that'll automatically give you access on our Discord server to our premium channels. And all the stuff that was that Rob and his crew was enjoying at 100K Studios, we're going to be doing that here at RecPoker. And we're also going to be doing all the same stuff that we've always been doing and enjoying here at RecPoker as well. So that's just one of the ways that RecPoker is getting bigger and better. We've also got some exciting new folks coming and joining the Wrecking Crew, like Rob and like the other folks you see here up on the screen right now. There's going to be some new study groups, some really interesting new ways of approaching how to contribute to the poker world. People ask me sort of like, what is the Wrecking Crew? Like, what do the people on the Wrecking Crew have in common? And what they all have in common is they want to contribute somehow to the poker world. And the Wrecking Crew is just a place to come and to get some help and some infrastructure and a platform to help share your love of poker with the world. So pros, coaches, players, authors, we've got some really fun, exciting people coming to join the Wrecking Crew in the next little while. And I'm really excited. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really excited. What else is new and exciting? So we're going back to, as John Somsky mentioned at the top of the show, we're doing more home games. We're going back to our one home game every night at 9:00 Eastern, with earlier ones on Saturdays in the late morning and the early afternoon for our international members. Plus the mixed practice game is on Wednesday night as well. So that's 2 on Wednesday night, and our Tournament of Champions. John, I don't know how you do it, but congratulations on keeping all those balls in the air. That's pretty impressive. I love telling people that you signed up originally to host 2 home games each month, and now it's 11.
Actually, originally it was 1.
It was then, just 1.
That doubled, and then from there it doubled again and again and again.
Yeah, well, just we're lucky to have you. But there are some other hidden gems that folks might not know about RecPoker, what we've got going on here. We also have, we're just this week, we're releasing our Patreon as well. So we talked earlier about how folks can join our premium membership for $22 a month. They can get their first month for only $5, or they can support a local food bank and get a month for free. But some of our folks, including Roger Schutte, who I got to shout out, Roger helps us. He's one of the volunteers that I talk about all the time here that help make the magic happen here. Helps us with our podcast post-production stuff. And he noticed that it was an interesting way to take in some of our premium training videos was to strip the audio and listen to them like a podcast while he was doing some work around his house a little while ago. So we thought, what a great idea. Let's do it. So starting in August, if you're not a premium, or even if you are a premium member, I suppose, you can subscribe to our Patreon for only $7.50 a month and get an audio version of all our training videos, all our premium videos that come out every month. Some of them are better as video, but some of them you'll really enjoy as an audio version. So you can get that on Patreon for $7.50 a month. We've also got a $3 tier for folks that just want to support us and help us out by buying us a cup of coffee every month. We've also got some, I thought maybe this would be a good time to kind of go through some of the different, like all the different study stuff that we have, all the different learning opportunities and social events and things that we have here at RecPoker. Rob, is there anything specifically that you want to speak to before I kind of run through kind of like a deluge of all the amazing stuff that we get up to here every day, week, and month of the year?
As far as like study specific stuff,
or just, well, you know, some vision, something that you have in mind for what's coming for RecPoker that you're excited about.
So one thing I'm excited about, the gym hasn't signed off on yet. So if this doesn't happen, it's at Bluff Storini on Twitter.
Yeah, that's right.
We're gonna be my plan, my hope is to add a scoreboard for the premium members at RecPoker. And what this is going to be is it's going to be an opportunity for all the premium members to just put all of their scores into a database. And we're just going to track how much money that the premium members have cashed for at RecPoker. And it'll be kind of a cool way to kind of see what we've accomplished. I think it's one of those things that in your head, you might not think that number is very big, but as everybody participates, we might be blown away by the amount of money that this community is able to earn at the poker tables, the amount of final tables, the amount of wins. And it'll be kind of a fun community team event too, because we'll keep track of like what our biggest months have been, and we'll always be competing against that. So we'll be trying to break the record each month of whatever the previous month was. And I think it'll just be a fun way to kind of build some teamship and some camaraderie, and we'll count online, we'll count live. It'll be kind of like our own personal Hendon mob. So that's one thing I think I'm really excited about if it gets signed off on.
No, that sounds like a really fun idea. Because you know, one of the things we're trying to do here at RecPoker is kind of take back the word rec. Because people, you know, generationally have used the word rec to mean not serious players or, you know, bad players. And we just think that to be a recreational player just means that you don't make your day job from poker. You know, you've got a living, you've got a day job. You're not a professional player. You play for fun.
But it sounds funny, but that's like my dream.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's the best.
Like,
it's the best.
That's my goal.
Yes, exactly. It's. I think that's the best way to enjoy poker.
I do too.
As a game, you know, as a fun hobby. And it's just one of those few fun hobbies that can also be very profitable if you're good at it. I mean, a lot of the members here on the crew have, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars in Hendon Mob or live or online scores. Some very accomplished players. No, Joe, it's okay. I'm not talking about you. Don't worry. A lot of, but I think, you know, Kim's got over $250,000 in live earnings. You know, I'm over 100K online. I don't know what I am live, but like a lot of these guys, you know, Chris has raked in a couple huge online tournament scores over the last couple of years. Oh, Kim is over 300K now. There you go, Kim. Awesome. Fantastic. And, you know, like Mark Zhang has won hundreds of thousands of dollars as a tournament professional. So it's a fantastic idea. And I like the idea that we can start showing the poker world that to be a recreational player doesn't mean you're a soft seat at the table. It just means that, you know, you make your money doing something else. So I love that idea, Rob. Fantastic. We've got some great, some fantastic feedback from the YouTube chat. So I just want to thank everybody in the YouTube chat for the kind words. And it's always nice to see my mom in there. Hello, Martha. I hope you're feeling better. I always get a big kick out of seeing you in the YouTube chat. It's lovely to see you. All right. So let's just talk about a few things. So if you're a free member at RecPoker, then there's a ton of fantastic things for you to take advantage of. Obviously, you can join us on the podcast here every Monday night at 7:30 Eastern and win a prize. The forums on the website are free. Discord has a bunch of fantastic free options there as well. The YouTube channel has a ton of free strategy videos as well as a bunch of fun stuff there. So I'd encourage folks to go check that out. We do road trips, which are open to all of our free members. There's a lot of ways to get involved for free and to have fun with our members and with our wrecking crew without spending a dime. If you go to rec.poker/support, you can also find some ways to help us out without spending a dime. So, you know, on the free express, There's a lot of ways to get involved. From our premium members, I'm just going to run through a couple. So like every Monday night after we record this chats edition of the podcast, we either record the forums edition of the podcast over Zoom, where premium members are welcome to join and bring their questions to the panel and ask them in real time and come on the show themselves, which is a great way to do it. We also have our deep dive recordings on Monday nights after the show. So Mondays are big for podcasts and the deep dive recordings. It's also our Tournament of Champions happens on Mondays. Tuesdays, this is every week. Every week on Tuesdays is our online play and hang, where while you're playing in the nightly home game, you can join a Zoom call with other premium members and just kind of hang out, grind each other's gears a little bit, catch up on what's going on. It's more of like a social event. We do talk about poker strategy, but it's more about kind of like hanging out and making connections and just having a pleasant, chill conversation with people while you're playing. And on the second Tuesday of every month, that's not open just for premium members, but free community members can come in and join that as well. Wednesday is probably our biggest weekly night of the week. On the first and third Wednesdays of every month is Rob's book study, which goes through a different book every cycle, and we've been doing it for years. People can go and watch. There's some fantastic archives of some of those. It's also Taylor Moss's Twitch stream every Wednesday evening at 9:00. He streams his play live in the RecPoker home game. And Rob, it pains me to say that we actually owe some of our origin story to Taylor Moss, because he was the one that somehow pointed out that you and I were going to be playing at the same table in the main a couple of years ago. So he just has to insert himself into every little part of RecPoker, doesn't he? That guy. Oh, God, it's enough to make you sick. Also on Wednesdays, you heard from Kim Kilroy. She does her hand history review on the second Thursday of every month. And Chris Jones also has his monthly wrap-up on the fourth Wednesday of every month. So Wednesdays are chock full of fantastic RecPoker premium adventures to come and check out. On Thursdays, on the first week of the month, it's Mark Zhang's office hours. On the second week of the month, it's Keith Brandt's off-table tools. And those two are phenomenal. They both use kind of solvers and different kind of softwares to break down spots. Mark is a very accomplished and talented tournament professional. He joined the Wrecking Crew earlier this year, and his office hours on the first Thursday of the month are phenomenal. And Keith's been a Wrecking Crew member for a while, just retired. He's playing a lot more now and doing some coaching. Also on the second Thursday of the month is Eric's Play, Explain, and Learn. I wish Eric could be here on the show because he is such a valuable contributor to the Wrecking Crew. He's the brainchild. No, what am I trying to say? Stake Study Stack is his brainchild, and his Play, Explain, and Learn is a phenomenal way to help learn about what assumptions other players are thinking about, what factors other players are weighing while they make their decisions. So I'd encourage folks to check that out. On the third Thursday of the month is our own Joe Coulis's Poker Psyops, where he uses his professional and academic chops as a, let me see if I can get this right, a board-certified licensed neuropsychologist. How did I do, Joe?
I'm double boarded, but that's okay.
Of course he is. But this is a really unique opportunity. Not a lot of training sites have someone like Joe that you can come and talk to about how the brain works and how it actually, how our mind intersects with brain chemistry. And I'm already butchering it enough, but come check out Joe's Poker Psyops. He's a very, very intelligent and credentialed guy who knows really how to talk about the intersection between brain chemistry and good poker playing. On the fourth Thursday of every month, I host our online review and hang. So we talked about all these home games that we play. If you win a home game, and there's, like I said, there's 10 or 11 of them every week. If you win one, not only do you get one of these fantastic bronze pins, the lighting isn't great in here, but trust me, they're fantastic. But you also win a seat in our Tournament of Champions the next month. And we actually record the play of the final table at our Tournament of Champions, and then we review it with our members later in the month. So on the fourth Thursday of every month, you can join me and we'll just go hand by hand, street by street through all the action of the final table of the Tournament of Champions and break the hands down and give some feedback to the players. And that's a really good way to spend some time. Fridays, you can always join Ben Enslow as he's streaming his play on Twitch. Fantastic guy and recent new dad. Saturdays, we have different study groups every week, either Wrecking Crew only, very sophisticated high-level study groups, or we have I host my own Poker Tracker 4 study group on the second Saturday of the month, which means there's one coming up this week, folks. If you want to get involved with that, I recommend it. And I also host our Learn Pro Poker study group on the fourth Saturday of the month, which is where we get to discuss some of the fantastic training material supplied by Ryan LaPlante and the great crowd over there at Learn Pro Poker. Rob Washam, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about our Learning with Partners program, but Learn Pro Poker was our first learning partner. And so every month we get an hour-long premium training video from their paid training site that's available just for our members as part of our Learning with Partners program. So Rob, talk a little bit about that fantastic program because you've been getting more involved with that recently.
Yeah, the Learning with Partners is awesome. I mean, every week we're getting a new video from one of our Learning with Partners, Poker Forge, Poker Coaching, Jaka Coaching, and they all have something different that they're bringing to the table. And it's a way of getting an introduction to what they are offering as learning partners so that you can decide whether this is for you or not. And not every poker coaching site is going to be right for every single person. So you have to find the one that's right for you. And this is an opportunity to look inside what they're offering before you make a commitment to actually join that Learning with Partners. And when you decide to join one of them, you can just go to our website under resources and Learning with Partners, and you'll see a lot of them that you can get involved with and actually get a discount by joining through the RecPoker website. So I think it's a great program. Andrew Feist has been running it since the beginning. He's doing a great job of pulling out the really nice nuggets or really good nuggets that you can really learn from just by watching it in our video archives.
That's right. So you can come and watch all these amazing training videos for free, and then you can get a discount if you want to go and join these training sites. So that's I'm so impressed with this program that we've put together. It's one of the best things we do, I think. Chris Jones, one of the other things I want to talk about was our deep dive. We kind of mentioned the deep dive recording, but you've kind of seen this monthly seminar through a few different versions and iterations over the years. But for those of you who don't know, so Chris Jones has been our membership content director since 2019, that's 5 years, man. And so Chris, you come up with a whole curriculum for our premium members, a different theme of the month every month. And then we do this. Well, please describe what it means to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess I don't try to come up with it all by myself. I try to gather things that people are really interested in our community and talking about, learning more about. Typically, although we've been taking a break lately, we've been doing a series on exploits that had a lot to do with scheduling and some things going on during the summer. It's sometimes hard to get people together. But I think actually in August, we're going to get back into this where we have a playing session. We recorded on Poker Now. 9 premium, up to 9 premium members can join in and play in that game. And then we look at a specific topic. Like, let's say people are interested in playing against limpers. Well, I'll put in a couple of plants, tell them, by God, you're going to limp a lot. And then play your hands accordingly. And people try to react to that. And we see how that influences and changes the dynamic of the table. Or playing against 3-betters. And we talk about like getting a couple people to like 3-bet a lot. And then people try to just play their game, play these spots, but they end up having a lot of interesting spots that we get to break down, talk about, approach, and then break it down in a video. And then we review the table at the end of the month in community and talk about not just the 3 or 4 highlight hands that came up in the breakdown video, but we kind of play the table through and just talk through the spots as they come up. And it's a fun community-based way to learn. We do it by topic, so it feels sort of digestible. And yeah, it's been fun to do over the years.
And don't forget, we also get to lean on Wrecking Crew members Darrow Carney and Chris Fox Wallace to contribute some of their expertise to our members' play as well. So every once in a while, we'll actually get a whole segment from Dara breaking down some of the play from our premium members in that deep dive recording session. And boy, I mean, you just can't get better value for $22 a month than all the things that we've described here. All this feedback tailored to your game, opportunities to play on camera, to break down your problems, opportunities to have conversations with other serious, thoughtful, accomplished, recreational, and professional poker players. And I really think, I just wish I'd joined a group like this earlier. I get passionate about this because I was a big poker player. Like, I really enjoyed poker. I founded my school's first poker club. I had a beginners group that would meet every week in my home in Halifax. And I learned by videos and podcasts and reading books and a bunch of my own pen and paper. But I just wish I had taken the leap and joined a group like this earlier, because I can see what's happened to my game since I did. And if you're out there listening, join a group. Doesn't have to be RecPoker. Obviously, I'm biased, and I think RecPoker is the best, and you'll never get a better price for what you're getting here. But join a group, join a Discord, find people to talk to about poker. That's what's going to take your game to the next level. Rob, I'm so grateful to have you here on the team, because I know we see so eye to eye on this kind of stuff, and I can tell how excited and passionate you are for this. What am I missing, gang? We've got some road trips coming up. I don't think we have enough details to leak the dates to that yet, but that I'm really looking forward to. It's almost time for our next heads up matchup in September, but we've got a little time to get before that. Is there anything else that people are like really looking forward to? Because I feel like I've been talking a lot. We should probably wrap this episode up pretty soon. All right. Well, I'm just looking forward to spending more time with this fantastic group of people. I mean, I just have so much fun with everything that I do at RecPoker. I wish I could do more. There's so much stuff going on here. No one could do all of it, but come and find something that you appreciate. All right. This has been a weird, fun, long episode. We're going to play Stake Study Stack with our man, Rob Gardner. And then we're going to close the action with our speed round and give away some fantastic prizes before we roll up today's show and jump on out of here. Chris Jones, do you have anything? Are you ready for Stake Study Stack? I guess I'll tell our audience, if you're in the YouTube chat, start typing the words food bank into the YouTube chat, and we'll do our raffle in just a few minutes. But Chris, take it away.
All right, Rob. I've always liked to make this hard on our guests, so I've picked a couple 100K Studio pros. So
all right.
So we have Stake Study Stack. The game plays like this: you're going to pick somebody who you want to stake in a cash game or tournament, somebody who you'd like to study with, and somebody who really you'd take no greater pleasure than just stacking them at the table. All right?
All right.
Your 3 names are Lorianne Persinger, Justin Arnwine, and Alex Lovelace.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow.
See, we don't make it easy, Rob. We don't make it easy for you.
Oh my goodness. All right. I'm gonna go in reverse order. I'm gonna start with Stack, and I'm gonna choose Lorianne because me and her have had this kind of wonderful relationship in poker where I met her in the tables in Vegas, and we just kept running into each other. You know, sometimes you go to Vegas, you just keep ending up at the same table, and she was just so damn good. like it felt like a 12-round heavyweight battle because she would adjust to me and I would adjust to her and she would adjust to me. And there was just such mad mutual respect that stacking her would be an honor. So that leaves Stake and Study, and my options are Justin Arnwine and Alex Lovelace. Man, probably. So this is close, but I think I would have to go Study with Justin Arnwine because he's so far outside the box. He plays a very, very, very unique style, and he is very much a street brawler when it comes to poker. He's in the live streets. He doesn't care what GTO does. He's gonna do what works. So I think I would go Stack Lorianne, Study with Justin Arnwine, and Stake Alex.
There you go. Good stuff, man. I told you, even knowing what you were in for, we don't make it easy. All right, we're going to introduce a new segment here. Rob.
I get to be the guinea pig.
You're the guinea pig for the new segment. It's never been done here before. So this one is called "Who's Wrong, Jim or Mrs. Bluffsterini?" This is where I'm going to take a domestic dispute from my own life.
Is this real?
This is real. And our guest is going to
I'm going to take Jim for 1,000, Alex.
Who's wrong? And this does not impact our friendship or our business relationship.
This can't be real.
No, this is really happening. Okay. So it's going to be very innocent. I'm not going to put you in a difficult position here with this one, I promise. Okay. So Mrs. Bluffsterini and I recently rewatched the kids movie Inside Out, which is a really adorable movie.
Okay.
And I recommend anyone to watch it. It's not it is a kids movie, but it's really for grown-ups as well. And it brought up this question, and we were on different sides of it. Rob, we need a tiebreaker. You're the tiebreaker.
Okay.
Here's the question. Very simple. Is nostalgia, the state of nostalgia, is it inherently a mix of happiness or sadness? Happiness and sadness. Is it inherently a mix of happiness and sadness?
I'd like to phone a friend. What?
You're
all right.
allowed.
All right.
You can tap in a panelist here on the.
So the argument, I just want to make sure I understand this. The argument was whether nostalgia is more happy or more sad, like what the ratio is slanted.
Is it a mix of both those things,
or is it only happiness,
or something else completely? But the question is, does it contain both happiness and sadness definitively or not?
Okay, you're not going to like my answer. Nostalgia is happiness that can create sadness because the happiness is no longer here.
Yes. Yeah. So
crap.
Is it inherently? It's like does it have to have a bit of both? It sounds like, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but are you saying that it has to have a bit of both? Like if it was pure happiness, would it still be nostalgia, or would it just be like a happy memory? Or do you have to have the sadness of having lost it, or like not having?
So no, it does not have to. Well, because there's nostalgia, you can still so for example, I love collecting 80s video games, and I love playing 80s video games.
Yes.
There's no sadness there, right?
Right. But so is it nostalgia? Okay, yeah, okay.
But when I go to the like I worked out in a park today, and one of the high school cross country teams was running along, and I was like, oh, I remember when I was 22 and 108 pounds soaking wet. Those were good days. That has both. So there are situations where they have both, and there's situations where they don't.
Okay. So you would say that they're not inherently a mix of happiness and sadness. But
Jim, you should have been the other Canadian lawyer, is what I'm hearing here.
No, so I'm just full disclosure. So Rob, the tiebreaker, Jim is wrong. Mrs. Bluffsterini is correct. My position was that nostalgia requires both happiness and sadness for it to be nostalgia. Chris Jones, you wanted to weigh in there for a second?
No, I mean, that's pretty much a default in your relationship, right? Isn't it?
That's why.
So you're telling me, Jim, that watching footage of the last Steelers Super Bowl in 1743
now
makes you sad?
I'm happy to have experieed it, and I'm happy.
You
for,
were
like, the
alive in
positive-
1743.
I was alive the last time the Steelers won the Super Bowl, jerk. But there is like a sadness. There's like and that time has gone, and that time has passed, and so there's like a disconnected quality to it. I feel like that's what the geniuses behind the movie Inside Out were getting at when the little glass balls got the blue and yellow colors mixed up.
That's interesting because my favorite sports memory of all time is Illinois in the NCAA tournament coming back down 14 with 3 minutes left to beat Arizona and go to the Final Four. And that I watch it back every year, and I cry happy tears, but there's no sadness. It's just an awesome memory.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to meet with Joe and talk to him about your psychological problems with the Steelers, and maybe he can help you with that a little bit.
That's probably sound advice. John Somsky, what did you have to weigh in on with that?
I was just gonna say, in one of the rare things of all time, I think I actually agree with you, Jim.
Oh man, cameras! Everyone, get your cameras out.
Well, because you can be a fan, like being a fan of 80s video games, and if you're still playing those 80s video games because you have them, it's not nostalgia. You're just a fan. Nostalgia really does mean remembering something that is no longer available to you, in my opinion. So there is. While sadness might be a little bit too strong, there does need to be the element of it's no longer available to you right now. And it could be nostalgia, like you had mentioned, jogging, and it could be just, physically you're not a jogger now, you're older, yada yada.
It's a little rough. It's a little rough
Right.
out in the streets.
Or it could be just times have changed. You can't go out and buy your 8-track cassette tape and flop it in your 1970s Lincoln Continental and drive down the street. So
yeah, I'm with you, John. That was my position. But Joe Coolis, what do you have to contribute to this conversation?
Probably very little, but I'll speak anyway. I think the term that people are looking for is yearning. It's a desire to have something that is gone that you had previously. So playing video games, yeah, the video games are fun, but you can get an emulator, but you're not going to re-experience the 2 liter of soda, the bag of chips that you could eat and not gain weight, and then play for 4 hours and not have it lead to significant strain on anything that you're doing. So
Are there hidden
yearning-
cameras in here? What's going on? How do you know all this?
So you're yearning. It's not necessarily sadness. Sadness means, despair, but it's just a yearning. It's a desire for things to be like they once were.
Yep. All right. See, it was a pretty nuanced conversation. I knew we weren't going to find it just by flipping open the dictionary. That's why I had to bring it to the show and get an objective arbitrator. So thank you, Rob Gardner, for being Kim.
I think it can just be a happy memory.
Yeah.
Just a very happy memory. And wow, that was really nice.
Yeah.
When. And I'm really glad I experienced that. But I don't necessarily yearn for that time again.
Okay.
Like
okay.
when I had 3 little children running around.
Right. Yeah, they were cute, but there were pros and cons, I guess, is what you're saying. Yeah. All right. So I'm not going to beat this horse to death, but are we just, maybe I will a little. Are we just talking about happy memories? Because are happy memories the same as nostalgia? I don't know. I'll leave that for a future episode unless someone wants to jump in right there. No. Okay. All right. Thanks everyone for indulging me. Let's close the action with our speed round.
How did you should have just put that in the speed round. Then you would have gotten a super just casually, you're going red or blue, green or white, nostalgia or not. It would have been so organic.
I do have one special question just for you in the speed round that was recommended by Dave Westerveld in our YouTube chat. So, but we will start off with an easy one. Rob Gardner, welcome to closing the action. I wish I had our soundboard operating, because if I did, you'd hear some very dramatic TikTok noise right now. But instead, we'll just start. Rob Gardner, what is your favorite poker hand?
Aces.
Is poker, and remember, you're doing great so far.
Thanks.
What we're looking for fast, instant answers that are true. Just like spit them out. We want them quick. If you take too long, I will buzz. But you can
Got
say
you.
pass. I don't want you to actually
Okay.
be uncomfortable. Feel free to pass. All right. Poker. Is it a gamble or a skill game?
Skill game.
What's your biggest poker pet peeve?
People that are rude at the tables.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Is Ace King a drawing hand?
No.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Ew. No.
All right. What about a taco? Is a taco a sandwich?
No. Where
right.
are these questions coming from? Are these Canadian questions? What's going on here?
What's one thing you're afraid of?
Oh my God. One thing? There's 50.
Just one.
Failing in my future.
Good answer. Should vacations be lazy or busy?
Lazy.
What's your favorite brick and mortar poker venue?
Cherokee, North Carolina.
Should butter tarts have raisins in them or not?
What are butter tarts?
Oh, we got them. We got them, gang. We got them.
I'm gonna go with raisins, but I've never had one. So
all right, you're missing out. We still got to make that happen one of these days. We got to get the butter tart
no raisins
connection.
Raisins are bad.
It's mixed. There's a mix. There's definitely.
Are they
mix.
Sweet or are they more salty?
They're sweet. They're sweet.
Oh, then raisins. Yeah. It's like a cinnamon roll.
You'll enjoy it when it finally happens. Who's one poker player that you respect?
Everybody within this community.
Oh, that's sweet. Yellow light coming up. Slow down or speed up?
Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I have this thing that I developed when I was 16 where I'm going through a yellow light. I do it subconsciously. I don't realize I'm doing it. My wife laughs at me every time. I lift my head so I can't see the light turn from yellow to red. I do it every single time and I'm never aware that I'm doing it. It's really embarrassing.
I love that. All right. What about an open face sandwich? Is an open face sandwich a sandwich?
Well, you said open face sandwich, so I guess I'm going to go with yes.
Well, you're giving me a lot of power here when it comes to your own characterization of different foods. But all right, fair enough. Is a Pop-Tart sandwich a sandwich? I just called it a sandwich.
What's in the middle?
I guess berry jam or something.
Like Pop-Tart, then something,
like,
and then
Pop-Tart itself. Is a Pop-Tart itself
No.
a sandwich? No. What if I call it a sandwich? What if I say like a hot dog sandwich? Is a hot dog sandwich a sandwich?
Is the Pittsburgh Steelers an NFL caliber team?
All right, here we go. All right, last food related question, I promise.
No, you're good.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Name one fantastic musical artist. Doesn't have to be your favorite, but just one fantastic.
Just to piss everybody off, Taylor Swift.
Are you pro chop or no chop when it comes to poker tournaments?
I'm pro chop.
Who is your poker nemesis?
Oh, jeez.
Everybody's got one.
All right. Well, this is this is gonna go out into the airwaves. So I love this guy. It's not a spite or hate thing. But right now it's Kyle Anderson because he was the protege that came after me in the Ryan LaPlante School of Proteges, and I want to outdo him. So
yeah, fair. All right, and then I lied about that being the last food-related question. What about a calzone? Is a calzone a sandwich?
No.
All right. I'm just doing some quick math here. 749 points. Pretty good, Rob. Not bad at all. Almost cracked that mythical 750 number. That's hard to hit, but very impressive. You should be impressed with yourself. One last question I like to ask all our guests. I know you're going to have some thoughtful input to this. What can we all do to make our lives more fun, whether it's poker related or off the felt? What can we do to make our lives more fun? It's something that's important to us here at RecPoker.
I think that you have to take time to really be honest with yourself about what your dreams and goals are and be willing to take some risks. I think that life is too short and you can spend your entire life waiting for the safe opportunity. And the safe opportunity is never the safe opportunity, because it's the risky opportunity that we either get huge upside from or we learn incredibly valuable lessons from. So I always encourage people to take risks, chase their dreams, be passionate about the things they love doing, and don't be a slave to what other people think you should be doing. Be true to yourself, and that'll go a long ways.
That's awesome. All right, Rob, you've been so generous with your time. Thank you so much for coming on the show and for all your work to make the poker world a better place. And here at RecPoker in particular, if there was one thing that folks could do to say thanks for coming on the show, to sign up for something or subscribe to something, or to get more Rob Gardner in their lives, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you, and how would you like them to say thanks?
Yeah, my name is Rob Gardner Live on all my socials. I am going to be putting a lot of content out on my personal channels, a lot of content out on the RecPoker channel. So if you're not following RecPoker on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, please give those accounts a follow. And engagement is always an amazing thing that costs you nothing and does a lot to support this organization and the content creators individually as well. So throwing a like, throwing a comment, a meaningful comment especially, those things are all wonderful in the algorithms. So the more you can support the things we're doing here at RecPoker on those socials, the more beneficial it'll be.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again. Let's roll through some home game results and close out today's show. Last chance to type the words food bank into the YouTube chat. And I'll just remind our listeners that the reason we do this is because for a lot of folks out there, it's harder than ever to put food on the table for their families or for a loved one or for a child. It's a tough time right now. And people that might surprise you, some of your neighbors, some folks in your own community that you wouldn't expect, are having a little trouble and just need a little help putting the food on the table. And whether you vote right or left, whatever your religion is, I think one thing we can all agree on is that hungry people deserve some food. And there's no better way to make the world a better place in your own backyard than by donating a few dollars out of your wallet, a few volunteer hours out of your week, or a few non-perishable food items from your own food pantry. And it's a great way to make a difference with just a little in your own backyard, like I say. So if you just pull out your smartphone and Google food banks near me, you'll find an organization in your area that can benefit from your support. And we just like to raise some awareness for the fight against food insecurity here on the show by giving away a fantastic prize to whoever, some of the people that one person is going to type the words food bank into our YouTube chat tonight. Now I see we have quite a few people typing the words food bank into our YouTube chat. Chris, do you want to run down as our official die roller? Do you want to roll down the names and make sure we're on the same page here?
Yeah, we got to do the home games first, right? Or are we going to do the?
Oh yeah, of course.
Let's
do
let John do his thing.
But before we begin, I did see something in the YouTube chat that I wanted to, just before we exit out of the interview. There's one comment here from Benny the Jet that maybe we need to ask a little bit about. Do you see this one?
Oh yes, I do. Okay, good one. All right.
I Rob, can't see this, so I have no idea what's coming.
Fine. This is good. All right, Rob, this is a question for you.
Okay.
So sometimes when you're in a live casino playing cash, often you'll want to chop the blinds just to move the game along.
Sure.
But sometimes if there's a high hand or a bad beat promo or something like that, maybe you get the kind of hand in the small blind where you're like, oh, actually, I'd rather play this hand and see if I can hit the promo. Suited connectors, pocket pairs, that kind of thing. I'm not going to lead the witness, Chris. Rob, is there like a code word or an expression that you can use to tell the person in the big blind, hey, I kind of want to play this hand, but I don't want to just say it out loud because they'll void the promotion if I hit it? That's the question. Do you know of a code word? Have you heard of the code word? Is there a code word?
You have to be careful because you get the wrong dealer on the wrong day. There is no code word that's safe. I would tell you that hitting those promos are insanely rare. But literally last week, I ran straight flush into straight flush and quads into straight flush in the same week using both hole cards. And obviously both in tournaments where there was absolutely nothing to be gained for it. So it happens. But no, I mean, Like, I think if you want to be in that situation, you have that conversation when you're not in the situation. You wait till the
Right.
dealer's distracted and you just kind of lean over your buddy and be like, hey, if we get in this situation, do you want to chop or keep going? And just kind of gently have that conversation when it's not obvious. Don't do it in the moment.
All right, that's good advice. But have you ever heard of a code word? Just to be perfectly clear,
No.
it is no. God damn it! All right, fine, fair enough. We're Benny. Thank you for bringing this back to us here. We have given up on this a bit recently because I was starting to think I was going crazy here. We need to get more guests.
Can we just have another pod in a couple weeks where the main segment is Taylor or Jim? And we just play Taylor or Jim for an hour? Like,
oh, trust me, there's enough Taylor and Jim already. All over this place. All right, thank you. And Chris, you just continue racking up wins in this little prop bet that you and I had going on.
I
here.
think actually it's over. I think basically
it's over now.
Yeah, you just owe me dinner now.
That's right. I owe you. Mrs. Bluff-Storini and I owe you and Mrs. Jones dinner. Yes. Hopefully, if we can make that happen. All right. If anyone else is curious, the code word is cheeseburger. If you say cheeseburger to the other player in the blinds, they'll know exactly what you're talking about. Just because everyone on the wrecking crew and all of our guests are completely empty-headed when it comes to this for some reason. Because in my travels, as I play cash games around North America, this is the code word that people have shared with me. I'm not making it up. God damn it. This is a real thing.
Are you playing in basements in like New York City, like secret brothel games? Like what's going on here?
I'm playing in your standard like 1-3 games all over. I've heard this cheeseburger comment from state to state around North America.
Anybody in chat ever heard this?
No,
I feel like
nobody's ever heard of this. That's why we've asked.
Someone on Twitter said they had.
We've asked like 10 guests, and they're all like, no, there's no code. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Joey Pigtails. Hold on. Joey Pigtails.
So Jim has a burner account.
No, Joey says he's heard of it. He says Joey Pigtails, fantastic guy. We're getting to know him a little better here at RecPoker as well. He's got a great vlog. Check it out. Just search for Joey Pigtails vlog. He says he remembered that being a thing a few years ago, but haven't heard it recently. In Florida is when he heard it. So, and I've heard it in like Indiana. I've heard it in Iowa. It's a thing. I'm not going crazy. This is as real a thing as Bless Your Cotton Socks, which I was totally vindicated on, by the way. But yeah, if you're in the YouTube chat, just please let us know that you've heard the word cheeseburger used as a code for this. And if you're not in the YouTube chat and you're hearing this later, tag us on Twitter and let us know, because I need reinforcements for this. I'm getting savagely destroyed by the rest of the wrecking crew, and it's not fair. It's unjust. I feel bamboozled, like my friend Phil Razor. Okay, John, you were saying something before we got slightly sidetracked.
Yeah, I think you announced this segment about 15 minutes ago, and I had yet to say a word. So on July 29th, JS Raider 77014 got their first nightly victory for the year. I think that was one of the first games they ever played as well. So winning one of the very first.
Nice.
Chip and Flip Wreck, Lusko Driscoll got his second nightly victory for the year. M. Babker, Michael Babker, got his fourth nightly victory for the year. And GLBRNEYZ.
That still looks like
Ginger.
I know it's Ginger, but although it's listed as private, so I shouldn't really dox anyone. Again, one of the first games for that player.
Congratulations, Ginger. Way to go.
Won the first game. Keck Geek, that's Keck Geek Senior, won his second nightly victory for the year. PCS 2005, Jack LaRue got his first daily mixed victory for the year. Duck and Run 99, Michael Savage got his fifth international victory for the year. JD Cat 32, Jeff Catalano got his first international victory for the year. And JB Twin Cities got her first LPP event, so she can contact info at rec.poker for her free month at Learn Pro Poker.
That's right. The winner of our free home game club on Sundays wins a free month at Learn Pro Poker. So Just one of the perks of being a member here at RecPoker. So yeah, send that email. You're really going to enjoy it.
Since we're talking about the home games, we have the July ROI results.
Amazing. Okay. So this
So
is
here we
just for
go.
our premium members get entered into this extra contest where we tally their ROI results for the whole year. Nice work, Rob.
Well,
Lead
we're
us
doing it
on.
month by month. So
Sorry,
each
month by month. Yes.
Yeah, each month there's a top 5.
All right.
So, and we exclude the wrecking crew members from the top 5.
Got it.
Although they do get mentioned when they're in there. So
Because people need to know.
yes, M. Babker,
Michael.
number 1. Michael
Yes.
Babker, 287%
Wow.
ROI for the month of July.
And
one of my
I
favorites.
I mentioned
Go ahead.
Roger Schutte off the top because he's one of the
Mhm.
volunteers that helps us out a lot with our podcast stuff. Michael Babker is our volunteer technical director. We could not run the organization without him. So it's great to see fantastic results.
I don't
to
know
great
how
people.
he has time to actually study poker, play poker, and win at that rate,
I
and
know.
hold a full-time job. I just
I know,
can't
it's
believe
amazing.
it. The guy's
He's a man
amazing.
of many talents, many talents. Thank you,
And
Michael.
then we have in second place was Killy 19341, which
Rich.
is Rich Deacons. He is a member that joins me every first and third Wednesday for the book club. He's a very newer player, but he is killing it in the home games at 286% in July.
Wow.
And then Luck is a lady, as we know, and Rabman 50 somehow got into third place.
That's our own Rob
with
Washer. How about
215%.
Very impressive.
Then we
ROI.
have JB Twin Cities at
Ah,
103%, Joanne.
Amazing.
And then GL Brown Eyes, 82%.
Wow.
Met her at the OPA a couple of weeks ago. I had a nice conversation with her. And then Larson's Opening coming in 5th with 49% ROI.
Beautiful. Nicely done, George. And congratulations to all our victors. Yeah, John.
I just wanted to thank Rob. I had no idea how to pronounce that. GL Brown Eyes makes perfect sense. I don't know how I didn't see it. But Ginger, I now know how to pronounce your screen name from now
There
on.
you go. And
Well,
welcome to RecPoker, Ginger. It's been great chatting with you.
I got it right from Ginger when we were in the OPA.
Oh,
So
there
she
you go.
kind of filled me in on how she says it.
So Rob, who was our number one winner? Because they've won a fantastic prize. Who was our most impressive premium member?
Michael Babker.
Michael Babker. All right, Michael.
Yeah, he was number one.
Congratulations. So the premium member who has the highest ROI in any given month wins the chance to come on the show and join an interview panel for the guest of their choosing coming up. So the first winner that we did earlier this year was Christina Sukram. She's going to be joining us next week when we're joined by Greg Lau of Greg Goes All In. That's going to be a lot of fun. So, Michael,
Jim, you always follow me up on the pod with the biggest guests. I've been on the show 3 times, and every single time it's like a huge mainliner, like right after I come in. Every time, just casually, Greg Goes All In. No big deal.
We just want to make sure all the sound settings work and everything before we have the real.
Yeah, it's like Jim's like, all right, we got a really important guest next week, so let's just like completely get all the cobwebs out. We'll bring Rob on. It'll be super casual. And then we'll be really professional next week. It'll be perfect.
You should take it as a compliment. It's because no one wants to follow you. It's such a great experience that you have to find a top-notch.
That's it. That's really it. You've done it. Thank you, John.
You're too kind, John.
So Michael, congratulations. Email me, jim@rec.poker. We'll pick a guest coming up that you're interested in meeting, and you can come and join us for the show. And for all the rest of you, if you're considering joining our premium membership, here's another great reason to do it. It's just another one of the perks. All right, Chris Jones, you have the Daiso Cam. Let's give away
is live and ready to fire.
prize.
I got a 12-sider this week. We got 11 names in the chat, so if we roll a 12, we'll be donating $20 to a local food bank.
Yeah, if we roll a 12, I will donate $20 to a local food bank, and we will re-roll, a 12, an 8. No,
No,
12?
12.
Yeah. If we have to re-roll, I'll donate $20 to a local food bank.
And Jim's never
otherwise,
played D&D.
Yeah, yeah. I
All
have
right.
quite an assorted die collection myself. All right, who's the winner going to be?
Here
Let's
we
see.
go. It's an
Drum
11.
roll. Oh,
11, which brings
so
us
that
way down to the bottom.
who was the last?
But it's
person?
not Joey Big Pigtails because they did it twice, so I was counting their first entry.
Okay.
So it is JD.
JD Millay. All right, Joe Millay. Congratulations. So here's how it works. Joe, you're already a RecPoker Premium member. If you hadn't been, then the prize you would have won was a free month of RecPoker Premium. $22, not a bad deal for showing up for free. But since you're already a RecPoker Premium member, another perk of being a premium member at RecPoker is you've unlocked a whole new tier of prizes. So you've won a free month at one of our fantastic trading partners. So Rob Washam mentioned them all earlier. If you send an email, Joe, to info@rec.poker, we'll get you all squared away with your free access to one of our fantastic learning partners. Thanks for joining the show live, and thanks for contributing in the YouTube chat. Well, we have had a fun time here tonight, but we're going long. We have to go record the forums of the edition. If you're a premium member watching live, feel free to go join us over in Zoom. We'll be talking strategy with some of our panelists in just a moment. But let me see. I got to thank the Running Aces Hotel, Racetrack, and Casino. We couldn't do what we do without their fantastic support. Rob Gardner, such a fantastic guest, and really going to be a big piece of what we're doing here at RecPoker for the next little while. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Chris Jones, John Somsky, Rob Washam, Kim Kilroy, Joe Coolis, and of course, everyone in the YouTube chat. Hi, Mom. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for some great new faces today. And you, the audience at home. We couldn't do it without you. So have a fantastic week. We'll see you next week on the RecPoker podcast. Good night, everybody.